Welcome back to 0 to 1 Tech, where the imagination becomes real. Today, we're building this thing, a cute little friendship type puzzle piece thing. What's cool about this is that this is actually 3 pieces. 2 pieces, perfect for a brother and sister, and a third piece, perfect for the mother. And they very easily assemble. Also really cool, the pieces interlock themselves. The techniques we'll use in creating this puzzle piece are B-splines, 2D offsets, exploding compound, merging sketches, extruding, and Boolean operations. We will utilize the sketcher, part, and draft workbenches. We'll create this piece in 7 broad steps. First, we'll create the base sketches, then one by one, focus on my mom, sisters, and the heart pieces. We'll create a couple of link objects, slice, and print. So if all that seems interesting to you, let's hop right in. First thing we'll do is import a base image for the project, and we'll scale it to be 75 millimeters across. Click OK. Okay, we're going to make the base sketch for this project. We're going to use the Sketcher workbench. Here, what we're going to use, we're going to create a new sketch in the XY plane. And we're basically going to trace the path of this puzzle. We'll use polyline tool and the B-spline. We're going to use the polyline tool to create T intersections at the top and bottom of this puzzle piece. That's basically to help with 2D offsets, which we'll do a little later on. And then we'll do B-splines around the left edge, the right edge, and the center edge. We'll use our polyline tool, GN. And just going to zoom in here, create a little T. Next, we'll trace the left side here with the B-spline. Do the right side here. Then center piece. Just adjust this a little bit. Start at the top and work my way around. Rename this sketch, base sketch, duplicate this sketch a couple of times, rename to sister base sketch, rename the second one to me base sketch. Do one more sketch. I'm going to hide these first, and I'm going to sketch these hearts. We'll use 2 circles for the rounded parts of the heart, and 2 lines tangent to the circles, and then we'll just do some edge trimming to clear out the center of the circle, and we'll use some construction geometry to constrain this loosely. First thing we'll do is create the circles, and then I'll just create 2 lines, one of the endpoints coincident. I'm going to come in and constrain this a little bit, make the circles of equal diameter, and make the lines of equal length. I don't want these circles tangent with each other. Next, we're going to come in and create construction geometry. So I'll switch over to that mode, GN, and then use GL. Create a line that connects the 2 center points, and then a line that connects from the corner of the part to the center. And then the next thing we need to do is constrain the length of this line. Let's call it 8.5. Constrain radius. Call it 4. I'm going to constrain the length of this to be 6.5, say. Is it now constrained? Now I'm just going to trim these edges a bit. And now we have a heart. So pretty. Select all of the edges, move array transform, increase the number of copies on the constraints. Boom, we have our copy. All right, close that, rename this to heart sketch. Hide this image, hide the heart, come back to that later. We're going to deal with mom base sketch, so let's unhide mom base sketch. And we're going to alter this by removing the center line from the sketch. Come into the sketch, select the edges to remove and delete, save. Okay, we're going to do the same thing for sister base sketch. And we're going to do it one more time with base sketch. We're going to work on creating this piece for my mom. That's going to consist of creating some offset sketches. Then we're going to make the extrusion and cuts, cut off the end piece nubs to 3 millimeters off the bottom, cut out the heart recesses on the piece last. Hide that image one more time and bring up mom base sketch. Let's start off with offsets. So we're going to copy and then paste to rename the second sketch to mom cutout sketch. Take mom base sketch, do a 2D offset in our part workbench, and this is equal to 2 millimeters. And the mode pipe and join arc. Hit OK. We're going to hide mom base sketch and we're going to hide mom cutout for just a moment. Okay, next we're going to do mom cutout sketch. Let's rename that offset first to mom base offset 2D. Let's hide that offset for a moment and come back to mom cutout. We need to do an offset on this as well to allow the tolerance for the internal pieces. So I'm going to manually set it. Hit OK. Next, let us hide mom cutout sketch and let's unhide mom base offset. First thing we're going to do is extrude this offset. Set the depth of extrusion. So we see the extrusion. I'm going to toggle our axis geometry right now. So we see that the extrusion is happening beneath. So we're going to unhide our offset and we're going to extrude that reversed. To take that extrude and we're going to change the length to be the part length. So we should no longer see that extrude. However, we will see the effects of a cut once we take the initial extrude, control select the cutout, cuts. Okay, next we're going to create the nub cuts. If you like the video that you're seeing, hit that like button, click the notifications, and subscribe to the channel. Do a top level view. I'm going to select the inside face of this object. We'll create a sketch on the plane face. Let's pull in some external geometry. I'll zoom in here a little bit. We'll do an arc, 3 points. We'll select on the top point, bottom point. Notice that this is blue, so this is construction geometry. Toggle that to driving geometry. We'll come over and do the same thing on this side. Next, we're going to use the polyline tool just to complete this extrusion tool. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Close that. We don't need to constrain it. Use those sketches to cut this part. So we're going to extrude that sketch and do a Boolean cut. Next, we will create the heart cutouts. For this, I'm going to use this heart sketch and duplicate it. And I'm just going to rename it to be mom heart sketch. I'm going to hide this cut to make it easier. I'm going to offset this sketch and change that offset to be 0.2. Reopen our sketch. And then we see that the sketch is located on the XY plane, but we actually want this sketch to be located on the face of this body so we can cut out of the body. I want to map this sketch to the plane face. So over in Mac mode in the part, I'm going to hit a little dot to the right, select that face, click OK. The sketch has gone to the place we want it. Hide the sketch, bring back, offset, re-render, and we see that it is now mapped to the face. We're going to extrude, reversed, because we want it to go into the part, and we're going to change the length of this extrude. We want to keep the cut. We want to lose the heart, do a Boolean cut operation. Perfect. Rename this whole object to mom piece, and mom's piece is done. Hide mom's piece and toggle off the geometry. Similar to mom's piece, we're going to create a sketch. We're going to make sister sketch offset so that sisters and my piece fit together perfectly. And then we're going to give it some thickness and we're going to make a heart cutout. So we're going to take sister base sketch, unhide that. We're going to use this. First thing we want to do is offset this internal line here so that it fits up with me. When this prints, if we don't do this offset, this isn't this is not going to fit together. I'm going to hide my piece once again. We're going to use Explode Compound in the part workbench. Go up into Part, Compound, Explode Compound. What we're interested in are these 3 sketches and points. We're going to go over into the draft workbench and convert those edges into a single sketch with draft to sketch. And notice this sketch popped up. I'm going to name this internal line sketch. And then I'm going to come over to our exploded compound and just get rid of those lines. And I'm also going to hide the internal line sketch. For the internal line, I'm going to go back to my part workbench, do a 2D offset. And we have this pipe looking thing. So I'm just going to do skin. I want this to go inward 0.2 millimeters. Hit OK. We're going to merge the remainder of the exploded compound with the offset using the draft workbench. And we can now delete this exploded compound and the sister base sketch. And we could also delete the offset. Yeah, we don't need the internal line sketch because all of that's inside of this sketch. We come into this sketch, we're going to do a little bit of trimming. So we want to make sure that the point in that line are coincident. So we're going to add a coincident constraint and we're going to trim the remainder there. And we're going to do the same thing down at the base here. Close that, go into our sketcher workbench, go into sketch, validate sketch, highlight troublesome and just see if there are any troublesome vertices. It does not appear that there are troublesome vertices. And I want to find missing coincidences. And it looks like there are some missing coincidences here. So I'm going to deal with those. Make sure those are coincident and do the same thing down below. Come over to our part workbench, highlight the sketch, extrude the piece's height to be 2.8. So that's our piece. Next, we're going to do the heart cutout of this piece. So we have this heart sketch. We're gonna copy and paste it. Should be attached to the bottom here. Let's extrude that up. Select the extrude, select the heart cut. We're going to rename this sister piece. Save, and that's done. Last is me piece. In a very similar fashion to my sister's piece, we're going to simply extrude base sketch. Hide sister piece, unhide me. Base sketch, bring that into view. We'll do a top view. Extrude, same height as sister piece, 2.8 millimeters. We need to make a copy of heart sketch. We need to unhide heart sketch, extrude heart sketch, and then select my me piece, select heart, cut. Rename this piece, me piece. And me piece is done. The only thing we really need to do is just extrude the heart sketch, 0.8 millimeter extrusion. And we're gonna just rename this heart. The last piece is link objects for each of these pieces that we created. I'm gonna hide those. With all of them selected, I'm coming up to make a link and we have a link. Individually, take these pieces and transform them. So I'm gonna move my piece, just gonna move my piece along Y. I'm gonna keep mom piece exactly where it is. I'm gonna move sister piece up along Y as well, and then out along X a little bit. And then I'm gonna do the same thing with the heart piece. Just move those up along Y a bit. Next, let's export. Start right at the top and work my way down. Me piece, export, we're just gonna call it me. Right into STLs. Mom piece, export, mom. Sister piece, export, sister. Heart piece, export, heart. Okay, next we're gonna come over to our slicer, Cura. We're gonna just do all files sequentially because mom's piece is gonna be pink, sister's is blue, mine is green, and heart is red. Okay, so we're gonna do first into extensions, post-processing, modify G-code, and we want to add a script at layer change. Before is fine, and we're just gonna insert time-lapse take frame, close. Next, we're gonna add heart, hit slice, save to disk, and I'm just going to call this heart. Next, we'll do the same thing with me. We'll do sister, and then we'll do mom. Okay, next we add the jobs to the printer. I'm running straight out of Fluid, so I'm hardwired into my printer right now. I'm gonna upload jobs, upload them all at once,